This past week we started a new sermon series called The Shift, about how we need to shift our mentality from, it's all about membership and the different pieces of membership and how we want to shift our mentality on why we do what we do. And so we started by talking about church attendance and whether that's necessary and why do we do it, why do we go to church and all that kind of stuff. And the sermon started with 2,000 years of church history inside 15 minutes. And that was kind of a fun thing, we went through. It was very, very broad strokes. But because we ate up so much of the sermon doing that little history thing, I didn't get to get into the text quite as much as I wanted to. And so there's a piece that I had already put in a different... I'm talking, so I'm not paying attention to where I'm driving. There was a piece that I had put in other sermons, and so I didn't feel it necessary to include on Sunday, but I thought I'd put it in front of you. You see, back in the day, in the text in Hebrews, it talks about a curtain, and I just wanted to explain that or re-explain it if you've already heard it. But long time ago, back in the Jewish temple, there was a place where they felt like God dwelled. That's where they put the Ark of the Covenant, and they had all these special important things in there, and it was called the Holy of Holies, and they believed that that's where God dwelled. He hung out in the Holy of Holies. And so what would happen is they had this giant curtain in front of it, and that curtain was like the dividing line. It's what kept them separate from God. And so they would have one priest who was allowed to go in there like once a year, and he would do some rituals and maybe dustbuster, I don't know. But anyways, they were only allowed to go in there once a year. And so there was this separation between God and his people, which was kind of an amazing thing. And then on the day that Jesus died, the curtain in the temple, there was a great earthquake in Jerusalem, and the curtain in the temple ripped in half from top to bottom. And, the scholars will tell you stories about how, it's supposed to be impossible the way it was woven. It's only supposed to rip horizontally, but it was ripped vertically. So that's kind of the backdrop that I didn't get into in the sermon, but just listen to our text from Hebrews from this past week. Listen to what this said. It said, all right, so therefore, my friends, since we have confidence to enter the sanctuary by the blood of Jesus, we enter the Holy of Holies, not because I'm some special high priest or because it's, ritual duty, but because of the blood of Jesus, by the new and living way that he opened for us through the curtain. And that's what he's talking about. I mean, this is Hebrews. It's years later, and they're making this parallel. He opened for us through the curtain, and then in parentheses it says, that is through his flesh. And so what they're putting there is that the flesh of Jesus, the body and blood of Christ, is the new curtain. There is no more separation between us and God, and that was something we talked about on Sunday. But it's Jesus is the path to God now. He is the curtain, and I just thought that was such a cool thing, and I wanted to share that with you, kind of round out the piece I skipped in the sermon. All right, you guys have a good morning. Bye.